How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about VOLTA. This has been requested for quite some time, and I'm like, you know what? I already cover a good amount of EV plays. Let's add this one to the list. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on to Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for VOLTA. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.26, being up 3.64%. On the low, it tested $5.99, and then on the high, testing $6.43. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 1.331 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 1.551 million shares. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is all the way down here at 33.52. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 50-day and as well as the 21-day EMA. And what we could clearly see, VOLTA is in a bear market, trading below our moving averages. And as you can see here, it wasn't too long ago. Again, this was in January. We tested $5.78. So knowing that is around the 52-week low, and we ended up seeing a high of $6.43, yes, you guys have already guessed it. You want to see that move going back to the $7 level and then reclaiming the 21-day EMA at $7.35. Once it's able to reclaim $7.35, things can start looking a lot more bullish for VOLTA. But you could also see this is an area of resistance around the 750s and as well as the 760s. Again, keep an eye on this area. If you are thinking about getting into a position, of course you want to make sure to pay attention to the fact that this is a growth stock. So it could pull back further than the 578 that it visited. It does apparently have earnings on March the 3rd, as you guys can see here on the right side of the screen. So what you want to listen out for is great news, positive earnings or revenues going in the right direction. If you don't get that, that's why I'm saying the stock could easily pull back. But for the most part, I can see momentum continuing, especially if we see a lot more EV plays that are running up. VOLTA would just fall alongside with it. So keep an eye on it for it to reach that 21-day EMA at 735. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for VOLTA. So for the dark pool short volume ratio, it is at 50.59%. And then for the dark pool short volume, it is at 590,342 shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 700,000, updated 18 minutes ago. And then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 5.04%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 7th, it was at 60.87. And then for the close of the 10th, which was yesterday, it was at 50.59. So what this tells us right away, VOLTA does have short squeeze potential, but this is why this play needs a lot more volume, a lot more buying coming into the stock, so we could see it make some moves to the upside. But one thing that is very clear though, there is a reduction in the short interest, which tells us in regards to the overall market sentiment, it is getting better. So we want to see a continuation of that. So let's get into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for VOLTA. So we can see here on the inflow, it's at 822, and then on the outflow, it's at 1,152. So it was an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, it was 0 on the large, On the medium, it was 378. On the small, it was 443. And then on the outflow side, on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 595. On the small, it was 558. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, January the 11th, it was at 0. And on the 10th, it was a negative outflow of 696.01. So for the past 5 trading days in regards to large scale orders, we've had 3 outflow days. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then we take a look at what happened on the medium. We had more selling than we had buying. And of course, for the large, it was 0. So what this means, institutions were not loading up on shares or selling shares whatsoever. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 0.82%. And you know what? This is not too bad at all. What this tells us, many shareholders are holding on to their positions. They are not just selling it off. So a lot of volatility that you're currently seeing is happening on low volume. And when you have a stock that has low volume, you're going to have a lot of manipulation, especially since it does have exposure, or you know what, we should say it is in the EV space in regards to charging stations. So let's get into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for VOLTA in regards to the price action, you want to see this stock at $7.35 or higher. That's where things start looking bullish and I can see more buyers jumping into the play. Right now it is in a bear market, but the first level that you want to see it pass is at $6.50 and then gain that momentum from there, or it could get to $7. This could be a psychological area, there could be some profit taking, but this is where I talk about volume being very important. Since it does trade at low volumes, it is much more likely to be open to a lot of market manipulation, especially from short sellers. And this isn't surprising because when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it has a lot of short squeeze potential. But with that in mind, it does come with a lot of negative market sentiment. But at the end of the day, buying volume is key here. So this is why when we take a look at the overall market and the way that it was able to rally overall on the day and VOLTA did not move that much can give you a clear indication of what's really happening. As far as for an investment, I do love VOLTA, I do love ChargePoint, and I do love EVgo. They all have their advantages. In regards to VOLTA, I love the fact how you could just place ads right on the display while someone is charging their vehicle. So that is very interesting and I could really see this taking off. So the current prices of where it's at, if you're going to be getting into a position, I would be using a dollar cost averaging approach. We saw that the 52-week low was around $5.78. And considering of where it's at right now, it's not too bad to take your first position. Again, this is not financial advice whatsoever, but one thing that you're going to want to pay attention to is when their earnings come out. This is going to be key. It will have an impact on the stock, but I just want to make sure that you're clear about that and you can do the homework and the due diligence that you need, because just in case it does dip further, you'll feel confident enough to say, you know what, I'm going to buy this up because I do believe in the long-term prospects. And for myself, like I was saying, I think it was in my ChargePoint video or was my EVgo video, I'm planning to be vested in all 3 of them. And you know what, I need to hurry up and get my VOLTA position going actually. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I can't wait to see how it performs for the rest of the week.